going on, everybody? It's April 27th. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're staying safe. So there's a little bit of comic book news I want to go over, kind of update some stuff. An interesting move by the comic industry that I think could actually maybe help turn things around. And then Joe Exotic. Why is Joe Exotic in the title, the thumbnail, in this video? Well, because there's a Joe Exotic comic book coming out, and I wanted to talk about it because I watched Tiger King like 2 weeks ago. I was a little late on it. I think a lot of people watched it right when it came out. I was late to the party, but man, what a fun trash fire. It's fun. I got to admit, I had a good time watching it. It was a train wreck all around, and I loved it. And I found his YouTube channel. So I've been watching all of his YouTube videos. Did you even know he had a YouTube channel? Joe Exotic TV. Now, I know this doesn't have much to do with the comic book, but we'll get there. I just want to go over this real quick because I've just been binge watching all of his 1,000 uploads because, you know, the show wasn't that long. So I think a lot of people found it. Look at the growth on his channel. I find this funny too. Deleted over 1 million views. So whoever runs that account while he's in jail is purging the channel of content, which I'm sure isn't done intentionally. But in March, gained 80,000 subscribers. Still had a lot considering the channel has 343K. The only reason that I'm letting you guys know that this exists is because I would imagine a lot of you would like to watch more Crazy Joe videos. And there's a boatload of them over there. There's like 200 videos of him complaining to Donald Trump. They're like political message number 210. It's some funny stuff over there. So that's my gift to you. So let's get on to it. So I saw this. I'm sure this is going to bring some big bucks. Tiger King to become a comic book in partnership with PETA. 22-page comic comes out in June. So one quick thing. PETA and Joe, as you know, don't like each other. You can go over to Twitter and go to PETA UK, and you can see what they've been doing with the hashtag that was trending and the messaging that they're putting out there. So knowing that they're behind this comic should tell you it's not going to be kind to him. It's probably not going to be funny, but then maybe it is. I don't know. I find the whole rights thing to him confusing. Who owns the rights to Tiger King and Joe Exotic material? Now, this comic is being made under fair use, according to the people that are making it. I thought you had to do a little bit more of a satirical parody look with it, but I guess he is a public figure, which opens him up to this. So I'm not quite sure. I'm sure he'll sue. His Twitter, by the way, is quite active. Even behind bars, it's still active. So he's probably telling someone to tweet for him. I'd imagine it's probably his fifth husband, Dylan, that's doing a lot of the managing here for it. So I just thought this funny. Maybe Joe can help boost the comic book industry with this. When this comes out, I'll definitely try to find it digitally. Hopefully it's on Comixology. I would imagine that it will be. And I'll do a review of it. It'll be fun. But basically, the details right here. Netflix's widely popular unscripted series Tiger King is being made into a comic book. And it's going to tell the story of Baskin and Exotic, made famous by the Netflix series. According to the rest of the article, they're going to try to do something fun and entertaining, but when you read about the details, it's mostly going to be a propaganda book for PETA. They're going to talk about zoos and captivity for animals and stuff like that. I don't like PETA. They do a lot of crazy stuff. Not a very good organization, in my opinion. The people who make this book, though, I can give you some of the details right here. The two men are also behind comics entitled Political Power, James Comey, and Female Force, Stormy Daniels. So it's probably going to be littered with whatever political messaging PETA wants in the book. Hopefully it'll be a trash fire and it'll be fun to make a video on for the channel. I'm hoping it is. I don't think it'll be good. Joe Exotic, probably not going to save the comic book industry, but still fun to see something like this happen. So we'll see. I'm definitely going to try to get it. So let's move on to some stuff that's happened in the industry, some relevant news. Diamond is taking orders. Basically, DC Comics kicked them right in the butt and said, look, we're just going to go around you. I've talked about this before. They're using mostly, it looks like Midtown Comics ability. That Midtown Comics in Manhattan mails out comics. You can actually get a pull list from Midtown Comics, and they'll send you the comic books. DC's using them. Your boy Zach did a really interesting video where he talked about Midtown Comics, an island of wealth in a sea of poverty. This is just going to make Midtown Comics even more rich, why other shops kind of hurt. And also, do they even get discounts? There's a lot of details that we don't know. Now, I don't fault DC too much, because what are they going to do? They're desperate to get comics out for a lot of reasons that I've talked about, mostly because AT&T is not looking to keep fat around that doesn't pull much money. We'll see. A couple of months ago, I would have said DC Comics could have maybe kind of stood around in irrelevancy at AT&T, but with everything that's going on right now, I don't know. I don't know if they're going to make it past this year. We'll see. But Diamond is taking orders, and it looks like starting this week, you might see comics in shops. Now, not from Diamond. Diamond is going to start up in May, but there are pictures on Twitter of shops getting comics from DC Comics, and they're in bubble wrap. The packaging is actually really nice. I watch a lot of unboxing videos from comic book shops on YouTube. A lot of comic book shops have channels, by the way, and they'll unbox their shipments. And I got to tell you, a lot of the time, the shipments from Diamond are damaged, like really just kind of packaged really badly. It's kind of disgusting, to be honest, how badly they're packaged, but it happens every week. This one channel I watch, the guy unboxed, when he had stuff coming in, his new weekly comics every week, and every week he had damages. Every week. Now, I imagine some people will just put them out there anyway, but he was very particular, and it's crazy to me how badly they were shipping books. I don't think Diamond going under is necessarily a bad thing. It's a monopoly. I don't like monopolies, and I would like to see something prop up. The industry needs it if it's going to survive. Anything going forward, they should learn that they cannot depend on Diamond. Marvel, though, not putting out any new comics. This is confirmed again for this coming week. The weird thing about Marvel is they're not saying outright like what their plans are. They're doing it almost on a weekly basis and staying quiet. They furloughed a bunch of staff over the weekend. Those all took place, so they're kind of running on a skeleton crew right now. I don't see how that's any different from their normal running, because most of the people in editorial and stuff at Marvel Entertainment are a bunch of clowns, and I don't know why there's so many editors when there's so many mistakes on the books. Most of the books are trash. Look at New Warriors for that. That book is a pile of garbage. I cannot wait for that book to come out, though. Oh, it's going to be, we'll get a live stream and a video out of that book because on the live stream, we can go through the entire book and rag on it. And then the video, I can only show you 4 or 5 pages because I have to leave that video up, and the copyright gods, they don't like that. They don't like that at all. You must make sacrifices for them. But I just find this funny. So I pre-ordered New Warriors on Comixology, and they keep kicking the can down the road. It has a release for this Wednesday, but last time I checked, I'm sure that's going to be delayed again until next week, and then the week after, and the week after. But with Diamond starting to come back up, so they have people they're telling shops to hurry up and do their cutoff orders. So I'm thinking in May, the comic book industry might slowly come back to life. And then, we'll see what happens. It's going to be an interesting year because shops are hurting right now, and not every shop can open. I want to note that. Not every comic book shop can open next week or the week after. Some states are still staying locked down, and I would imagine that some counties in states are going to lock down. It's going to be really interesting to watch how everything comes back to life. Will comic shops, I think it's stupid that they can't offer curbside service. I think it's ridiculous that they can't. I mean, I don't see the problem there. Every shop should be able to do that, but literally they're completely shut down. That's a topic for a different channel to cover, but I don't like it. So we'll see what happens here. But I got to tell you, I did read something that was really shocking to me. And that was this. So DC Comics has been doing digital first books. Now, I think the reason they're doing digital first books is because obviously they don't want backlash from the comic book shops. There is a big reason why digital books are $4. And the reason that they're the same price as the print books is because comic book shops see them as competition, and they should see them as competition. It costs more to make a comic, to print it, to ship it. A lot of that's factored into the price, and then you have to have comic book shops have the ability to make money. Like, I don't know what a comic book shop pays for a comic. Maybe they pay $1.50 for the comic, and then they mark it up. That's the reason why comic book shops made a lot of money, is because the margins are so good. Now, you go digital, you don't have to pay comic book shops. Every comic could essentially be $1.50 or so digitally. They really could. Whatever the cost is to make the comic, it's not $4. It's not. A lot of that goes because of the comic book shop and the cost of making it or whatever. This book is 84 cents if you have Amazon Prime and Comixology. It's 84 cents. Let that sink in. Okay, now the actual price is $1. Right? It's $1. You pay $1 for this. If all comic books could come out to $1.50 digitally, right? And they're good like this. This book is legitimately really good. Superman's very heroic. He's inspiring. The art's good. The story's good. He's heroic. He's not a wimp. Like, if you read the Brian Michael Bendis run right now, Superman and Action Comics are trash. The main comic books for DC Comics are pure garbage trash. They're it makes me so angry because I used to love those books. They were so good under Tomasi and Jurgens. But my point here is, like, there's no sacrifice in quality for this book. The art's good, and the story's good, and the price point is perfect. I don't know. I don't know what to do here. But maybe putting these out and then making graphic novels for comic book shops or something like that, that could be the future. I'd like to see comics in newsstands and in stores. I don't know what to do here because the $4 price point for comic books doesn't work, especially when you have tie-ins and you've got to read multiple different books. Like, you can't just read one or two books. That's a lot of money. Kids aren't reading comics, but they are reading manga. They sure as hell are reading My Hero Academia, which is literally a superhero comic book. So the demand for comics and superheroes, I do think, is still there. The problem is nobody wants to read about Superman sitting around in a coffee shop. No one wants to read about Batman whining about Selina Kyle all day. People want to see them doing great, crazy, heroic things and being inspiring like they should. I think if you can tell a story for a good price point and have legitimate, talent on it like this is a great book. I was really blown away that how good this book was. It was really good. Maybe it's the fact that I haven't read a good Superman book in a long time, but I really liked this. Now, you also have garbage books. That Flash digital first book, in my opinion, was garbage. It was bad. This book, though, is really good. So I don't know. This isn't the standard, but you know what? It should be. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Joe Exotic, the comic. I can't wait for that to come out. We will get it digitally when it does, and I will do a video on it. It will be fun. The comic book industry is slowly coming back to life, I guess. We'll see what happens. We'll see how it holds up. Stores that don't get to open, that's the real worry. That's the real thing I worry about. How are they going to... You're basically sending people to competition. Like, if people can go somewhere else to get their books, they probably will. So, we'll see what happens. Anyway, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching the video. Let me know your thoughts. What do you think about all of this? Leave a comment. Throw a like up. Share the video. Hit that notification bell. Make sure you're still subscribed. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. Also, if you want to help support the channel, check out my Teespring store. There's a link in the description. You can find some merchandise in there that you might want to check out. Also, take a moment. Make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. There's something going on right now, and they've been unsubscribing people. So just take a second and double check on that and subscribe if you're new.